All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Thursday evening about 6:15. This is take number 276.5. Yes, it's been that much of a pain in my ass. OBS was just being stupid. Part of it has to do with streaming to Moonbeam, and then my extra wide, outrageous LG monitor that is just being a pain in the ass right now. But today, my buddy, my brother from another mother, the entrepreneur extreme, the awesome Jay from Broken Rat Games, coming to us with another awesome game that he's about to throw out on BackerKit. And he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, Mean, will you make me a little promo video, hype the game, talk about it, and show it to people a little bit?" And I said, "Hells yes, brother, I will do that for you." So what we have here is Chronicles of Aerthe Quickstart. The way my OBS and this screen works, I can't figure out the resolution quite right, so it's hard to get a full screen of the full PDF, and it could be because I'm using Foxit and I'm not using, you know, a really super good PDF reader. But either way, I wanted to take a second to go through this PDF. This is the quick start. It's 32 pages. This is just a quick start. It's not the full game, but I'm going to tell you right now, the art, phenomenal. The art is awesome, and there's one image in particular I want to point out. Now, you guys are going to say, "Mr. Mean, what's so great about this game?" Well, first of all, Jay made it, Broken Rat Games. They make awesome games. Black Iron, Ghost Ops, to name a few. Delve, the Broken Rat version of Delve. So, yeah, awesome games, all of the above. Jay's got a crap ton of product up on Drive-Thru RPG. Use my affiliate link down below in the show notes. You can find all of his stuff if you just search for Broken Rat Games. He has quite a bit of stuff up there. He always fulfills on his Kickstarters. He always comes through. He's great about communication, and you get great bang for your buck. So this is a 2d6 system. Now, I know everyone's going to say, "Wait, Mean, you hate 2d6 systems." That's true. I do. I'm not a fan. That being said, Jay makes some of the best D6 systems that I've played. Blood Iron, classic. Ghost Ops is, I have the Savage Worlds version, and I have his homebrew version. Delve, I believe, I can't remember if Delve was a percentage-based game, if I remember correctly. Jay, you have too many games, sir. And on top of that, if you're a 5e fan, we all know Mr. Mean is not a 5e fan, but if you are a 5e fan, and 5e I mean D&D 5th edition, he has a plethora of 5th edition titles. Ghost Op, I believe Blood Iron is in 5e. He's got many games in the 5e market. So definitely check out his Drive-Thru RPG page. Check out his, I believe he has a website. I know he moved. He was in England. Now I believe he's in Ireland or Scotland. I can't remember. But he took over his parents' house, and they have a lovely plot of land. So Jay's doing well. The cats are doing great. Mrs. J is doing great. I'm still going to eat the cats if given half a chance. But today I wanted to talk about Chronicles of Aerthe. I'm not quite sure how you say it, and I haven't had a chance to actually physically speak with Jay. We've just talked over Discord via text. So I wanted to do this video just to bring, you know, show it to the meanies, get it out there on Moonbeam and on YouTube. This will go live tomorrow on YouTube at 10 a.m. Moonbeamers are seeing it right now, so hit me up on Moonbeam if you need an invite, or my Discord, and I can send you an invite. I believe they just opened Moonbeam up, so I think it's easy to join now. But either way, if you need an invite, give me a holler. I will hook you up. So anyway, Chronicles of Aerthe. We're going to go through this. Of course, there's a disclaimer. 60% made. All artwork is complete, and I am currently finalizing the rules, working on layout, planning any adventures and other bits that will be released on launch. Here's the thing. I've already said Jay does amazing stuff, but on top of that, you just get a lot of bang for your buck. So if you've got questions, brokenratuk@gmail.com, shoot them an email. The link is at the bottom here. It'll also be on the end scene, and I'll leave that on the screen for a little while because it's a little hard to see with the way everything's working here. But when you get to the darker pages or whatever, you'll be able to see it. But again, the link to the BackerKit that you'll be able to sign up, and it goes live, I believe, the 12th or a couple of days from now. Anyway, you'll be able to, the link is there. The link will also be in the show notes. So here's the credits. Now remember, this is a quick start. There's more layout to be done. I'm sure there's more art, there's more writing to be done, but the game itself is done and most of the art is done. You've got 24 pages, including an adventure, a GM section, your magic rules, your combat rules, and your basic rules. And this is a D6 system. So basic rules, this is second edition, comes in one book, contains all the player rules, all the GM guide, and the complete bestiary. Book covering the Outer Realms will be released in the future so that characters can use the Black Gates to discover new worlds. That's awesome. So welcome to the quick start for the Chronicles of Aerthe second edition. The Chronicles of Aerthe is a dark, high fantasy RPG set in the lands of Aerthe, 50 years after a major catastrophe devastated the land and caused the realms to converge. This convergence left echoes of other realms, and these echoes changed the land drastically. Forests now exist where there did not before. Cities alien and bizarre overlap with the cities of before, and a vast floating island fills the skies. So the quick start will give you the basic rules and everything you need to explore Aerthe until the core rules are released. Now, Jay did release a new quick start that has some typo fixes in it and stuff. So mine, I don't have that one yet. So please ignore them. In the quick start, they will be fixed. And it goes into, there's an example. This is a D6 system. You're going to use 2 6-sided dice. They don't have to be separate colors or anything. You're going to add them together. You have your attributes, physical, finesse, stamina, intellect, perception, and presence. They are pretty much what you deem they are. If you're new to role-playing, you want to read on this. But if you're a veteran like a lot of us, these are going to be old hat. Then you have foci. Your foci are kind of like your lump of skills. So you have occult, athletics, bushcraft, martial, and shadow. Now within those, there will be some other options and stuff. So you'll add those two together, roll 2d6, or you'll take whatever your stat is in your attribute and whatever your stat is in your skill. You'll roll them together and you'll shoot for a target number that the GM will assign you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, not hard. You're going to get to make some choices. The challenge table is 1, 6, 9, 11, 16, 17 plus, depending on what you get. So obviously the higher you roll, the better. It's also, the challenge table is also used for combat. You got some modifiers, advantage and disadvantage, which are applied to GM linked to items, prior knowledge, talents, and role-playing. When a character has advantage, they roll 2d8 instead of 2d6. So you're going to need a set of polyhedrals. You're going to need multiples. When you're at disadvantage, you're going to roll 2d4. So I like that. We've got scaling dice. So you're trying to shoot to get the most advantageous. Again, 17 plus is a critical success. So when you start adding your attributes and your foci, your odds of getting a better, higher number are going to be higher. So that being said, you can get partial success, partial fail, fumble, success, and critical success. So a very standard scale. Nothing we haven't seen before, just implemented in a slightly different way. Again, if you have advantage, you're going to get to roll 2d8. If you're at disadvantage, you're going to roll 2d4. But if your foci and your attributes are good enough, there's a good chance you could probably still succeed if the target number is not so high. But again, it's a role-playing game, and that's interpreted by your game master. You have hit points, wounds, defense, resistance, initiative, power pool, and your carry. Carry is a neat one here because it represents the number of slots that you can carry equipment. Exceeding these will overexert and cause disadvantage to apply to physical actions. So be careful of how much you carry. Your power pool is for obviously your magic and those mystic abilities. This is the art page right here that I absolutely love. Obviously, the fair maiden has been beheaded, and there is some magical text written on the wall. And your investigating mage has some sort of way to read it with the little amulet there, and the knight there, or the guard, loses it. I think that is very much sets the tone of this game and tells you we ain't playing here, kids. This is a big boy game, and I like that. Pre-generated characters, 6 different races, 8 different cultures, 6 racial traits, and we got some talents, we got weapon tags. So there's a lot here to make the character yours, to make it feel distinct to you. And that is always important to me when I play a new role-playing game. I want it to feel like my game. And when I have that creative control and I have choices, it's great. Now, yeah, you're going to have some players at your table that have analysis paralysis. There's nothing you can do about that. But here's the good part. The game is small enough that that analysis paralysis shouldn't be too difficult, even for a new player that has a hard time making choices. And again, you're going to have some pre-generated characters, so you can just give them one of those and say, go. And that'll be the nice part. They'll be able to just roll. And of course, here's some, they're going into talents. Combat rules are pretty cut and dry. Your initiative is between 1 and 5 to start a combat. All players roll a d6 and roll equal to or less than their character's initiative. If they succeed, the character acts in the fast turn. If they fail, characters will act in a slow turn. So this is a slight deviation from normal initiative-based games where whoever rolls the highest. Some games do go whoever rolls the lowest, very few. But we don't have to worry about that. Here we have a slow and a fast phase. And if you get to act in the fast phase, obviously you're going to go before everybody that's in the slow phase. So it's really cool. I'm sure there's going to be some talents and some abilities that are going to allow you to manipulate that in some way to better make you super fast if that's the type of character you want to play. They give a nice example here. So we have the fast turn, we have the NPC turn, and we have the slow turn. This is very reminiscent of Rangers of the Shadow Deep, which by Joseph A. McCullum. And what's cool about that is your main hero gets to go, your ranger gets to go, then all the monsters get to go, and then your party the rest of the party gets to go. Now that's a kind of a solo play game or a 2-player miniature skirmish kind of role-playing game. But I'm happy to see, and I don't know if Jay took this from Rangers or even 5 parsecs from home or 5 leagues from the Borderlands, because it's kind of the same type of initiative system. But I like it. I really dig it, and I can almost guarantee that I'll do an interview with Jay and we'll talk about this. So really dig the initiative system. It adds emphasis to it. Your fast players are it's going to feel fast, and your big lumbering, orc, with a big heavy weapon is going to be slow 9 out of 10 times. And then the NPCs are all going to get to go. That'll be your monsters, your GM controlled characters, and so on and so forth. So I really like that. You have 2 actions each turn, and you can obviously break down what you do, which is super cool. Again, stellar art in here. And again, this is only a quick start. It gives you some actions, do's and don'ts. GMs don't roll, which is nice. The GM will roll damage, but when it's the NPC's turn, the player must roll to defend. So again, it's kind of like Free Leagues games, Mutant Year Zero, what is it? Simba Room. Simba Room has a neat mechanic where the GM doesn't roll any dice. So again, a lot of cool different rule sets here, mechanics that are going to make it. I do like, one of my big pet peeves with Simba Room is I don't get to roll damage. I don't get to roll any dice. I just tell the story, which in itself is very cool, but I'm a grognard. I like to chuck dice. I'm a player too. I'm just a player that plays all the NPCs. And so I like this. I get to roll damage at least. So the players roll the defense, try not to get hit. If they fail, they get hit. I get to roll damage and beat up the players a little bit. Not that I'm against the players, because a good GM is always for the players, but I want to make it difficult for them. I want them to work for what they receive. And he gives a nice example here. He says one of the guards attacks Gregor. Gregor is one of the player characters. They have a combat stat of 4 versus Gregor's defense of 6. The player rolls 2d6 and gets a 6 with the 2 which remains on his defense. Gregor has managed an 8, which is a partial fail. The GM gets to roll damage. So you can see how that mechanic works there. So circumstances are going to play into that. Talents and things are going to affect that. Obviously what you do. Your character attack, we go into all the examples there, which I think is pretty cool. We get a nice, really good example. Gregor attacks a guard with his dagger, which is a finesse weapon, so he combines his finesse with his martial for a total of 6. The guard's combat stat is 4, which reduces Gregor's attack to a 2. Remember, 4 from 6 equals 2. The player rolls 2d6 and gets to add 2 because that's what's left over, the difference between the guard's defense and Gregor's combat, and gets a result of 10. This is a partial success. Again, looking at that chart, 17 plus, critical success. A 2 is a critical failure. Partial success. Gregor hits, but his dagger is stuck in the guard's armor because it's a partial success. The guard takes his opportunity to hit back with his mace. Gregor must defend. So again, Gregor rolls, but with no dagger and no shield. Gregor must dodge, combining his finesse to athletics, a total of 5. Gregor attempts to duck and roll. The guard still has a combat stat of 4, so Gregor must roll 2d6 plus 1 to succeed. The player rolls a total of 9, which is a partial fail. Gregor fails to dodge and gets hit. The GM rolls damage. Gregor falls back but discovers his dagger has dislodged, so not all bad. Yeah, so he got his dagger free. Next round, when it comes back around to I'm assuming with a dagger, he's probably a fast player, and so he's going to get to attack first after the NPCs and the slow players go. And of course, we have surprise, and talents and items are going to affect that. They're going to give you bonuses, damage bonuses, cover. We're talking low numbers here, which I like. When you're new to role-playing games and you got a D20 system, not to bag on a D20, or you got multiple D20s or multiple D10s or multiple D6s, having high numbers slows the game down. So keeping everything tight and low, this is going to be a fast game. And we like fast games because it gets you into the action, and you get to participate and you get to move. It keeps things moving. The faster you can go through combat, the faster you can get through a scenario, and the players will feel that they've earned something. Even if they get a TPK, total party kill, they still feel like they accomplished something. You got your wound modifiers after you take damage and so on and so forth. That's always sucks. You got your healing, you 8 hours of sleep. If they are rested on the floor in an unsafe location, they will heal back 1d6 after 8 hours of rest. So you take a rest, you heal all your hit points, but if you're in a dungeon or in an area where you can't get comfortable, like a rocky, riverbed with no water in it, you're not going to sleep well. So it makes sense. I mean, we got to add some realism into the game. So I like that. Resistances, condition, suffocation, electrocution, unconsciousness, a flame, falling, all those, standard things. Another super cool piece of art. And of course, the magic rules. You're expending power points to cast spells. You make a casting roll. You meet it. You exceed. You do the thing. There's different types of magic gear. There's different types of magic. Of course, all of this will be expanded upon in the core book after it comes out of the BackerKit. Here's a bunch of spells. Jay does some amazing spells, so looking forward to those. Again, another super cool piece of art. We've got cantrips, we've got NPCs and spells, and then of course it goes into the GM section, and this is going to be the meat of the game. This is where the GM is going to have all these mechanics to be able to tell a story. Again, more amazing art, NPCs and enemies, morale, hit points, armor, all the things you need as a GM. And then of course we've got some Quickstart, an orc slaver, human thug. These are all mooks for you to beat up. The cleansing, we've got some maps here. So if you're using a VTT, you'll have all that information. This is going to be the quick start. Now, obviously, it's not in there, and we're at the end of it. So the cool, I really dig the art. So this will all be filled in. So these are our bad guys, I'm assuming. And yeah, guys, how long are we going here? We're just over 20 minutes. So babbled a little bit, but I think you get the gist. Again, I can't get over that art. I'd love to use that as the thumbnail for the game, but it might not sit well with everybody. But I do love the art. Jay, he always makes phenomenal games. I love the little example sections here in like the parchment paper. I like the header. The layout is fantastic. Again, Jay always does great things. You know, maps, Nathan, Mangion, and Dungeon Draft artist. The artists there are all fantastic as far as I'm concerned. I can't wait to see the absolute final product. I'm going to try and get Jay on the channel and do an interview to talk a little bit more about this. And again, it'll go out to Moonbeam just like this video. My Moonbeam people get to see it first. And the reason I do that is it allows the YouTube algorithm to push this video to get to more people. The more time you give YouTube time to promote your video with their algorithm, the more people will get to see it. And I've finally learned that trick after almost 600 videos. So there you go. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just a mook who likes to make videos. Guys, if you got a couple pennies in your pocket, go support this. I think it's going to be a cool game. I'm definitely going to back it. I back everything Jay does. It goes without question. I've loved everything he's done. Even Ghost Ops, and I'm not a fan of military games, but I like Ghost Ops. In fact, I stole some of his Ghost Ops material to run my God, I can't think of the name of the game now. Titan Effect, which is kind of a near future G.I. Joe style type game with psychic powers and stuff by Christian Nomine. Christian, yeah, whatever. You go back in the archive and watch the Titan Effect video. It's super cool. Second edition is out. You can go pick that up on Drive-Thru RPG. Use my affiliate link. God, I'm super excited. I love the cover. It definitely gives you that feel of this is going to be kind of a dark game. I'm looking to see what more we see from Jay. Hopefully we'll get some more previews and stuff. Hopefully Jay will post some more art or whatever on my Discord. So if you want to see more of that, if you want to reach out to Jay, Jay has his own Discord. But of course you can always reach him on my Discord as well. So I'm going to fade to black. It'll have the Mr. Mean Speaks logo, and there I'll leave it up for a couple seconds so that you can write down that BackerKit .com address, so that if you want to go bookmark this and be notified when the Kickstarter goes live, you can. I'll also put a copy of I'll put a link in the show notes so you can click that, so in case you don't catch it at the end. But guys, I hope you support Jay. He's an indie publisher. He's a true indie publisher. He doesn't have a day job. This is his day job. This is how he feeds his 2 cats. This is how he takes care of his wife and keeps a roof over his head. So please, if you like my content and you can help the guy out, go support him. He makes great product. All of his games are phenomenal. You'll find something in them that appeals to you, and they look cool on your shelf. We all want to look cool, right? So you want a library like that, you know? So I hope everyone is doing well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the comments. I try to reply to all of them. If you're on Moonbeam, give it a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe, thumbs up. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it, as Dave2D says. And guys, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me. I hope you'll back Chronicles of Aerthe, and let me know what you think about it. And if you download the Quickstart when it's available, when it goes live on BackerKit, let me know what you think about it in the show notes, or pop into the Discord. But I'm going to put that in scened up here, the final page, and you guys can copy that. And again, I'll put it in the show notes. It'll be live on YouTube on tomorrow at 10 a.m. So as always, Mr. Mean says peace and hair grease, and remember, be nice.